welcome back to the channel. I'm Elgems and we're back on Reddit today. Okay, so today's video is going to be a bit different from what I normally do because today we're going to be on r/ghost. Now this is a subreddit where people come and they share their paranormal encounters, you know, through videos, pictures or just written posts. And I thought we could have a look through them, read them, have a look at them and try and decide whether we think that they're real or fake. Alright guys, if I'm gonna level with you when it comes to ghosts, I'm quite a skeptic. I'm a non-believer. I know, sue me, I'm terrible. I just feel like there's always a logical explanation behind these ghost encounters, and I feel like sometimes people are definitely reaching when it comes to these so-called ghost encounters. And yeah, I'm literally like the person we'll sit down and we'll watch one of those ghost hunting TV shows and I'll just start explaining all the science behind why the equipment's doing that. Also, little fun fact about me is I'm actually a student photographer, so you know, when I'm looking through these pictures today, I'd like to think that I'm well versed in cameras and editing, that I'd be able to spot a fake picture from a mile away. But to the point, I'm going to look through these posts and I'm going to stick them into two categories. I'm going to have one, looks legit, you know, that's going to be if I actually think that it could be a ghost. And two, we're going to do not buying it, and that means, you know, I think it's literally anything but a ghost. So without any further yapping, let's get into it. Okay, we're already starting out terribly with a post from Composer Organic, and they titled this, "Took this photo of dolls under the streets in Edinburgh and ghost turns up in the photo." Oh come on, are we being serious right now? I feel like this is a joke. I mean, is this the ghost? This guy? Because he looks like he's been edited in on one of those apps. Everyone will remember them back in the day, where you used to get them apps and you could edit ghosts into your photos. It literally looks like it's been done in one of those. I'm sorry, I'm not believing this. What do you take me for? A nincompoop? Be so for real. Also, I think logically, like if ghosts were real, I don't think they'd be that bait in a photo. This one's just screaming fake to me because of how clear it is. I feel like ghosts, they'd have some more subtlety, you know what I mean? Yeah, you ain't fooling me at all, Composer Organic. This is going in, not buying it. Okay, so the next one's a story and it's written by JSMitG2766 and they've titled this, "My mom passed away from ALS a few weeks later. Something happened in my dorm that I'll never forget. In 2022, my mom passed away from ALS. It was the hardest thing I've ever been through. Not long after the funeral, I went back to college and tried to get back into a routine even though I was still processing everything. A few weeks after I returned, my nana mailed me a bunch of old photos of me and my mom. She knew how close we were and I think she wanted me to have something comforting while I was away at school. For some extra context, my mom was very religious and so am I. One of her favourite devotional books was Jesus Always. She used to read it every single day. After she passed, I started reading it too. I kept my copy on the shelf in my dorm room and I stored the photos she sent me in an envelope tucked safely away in my desk drawer. Also, I lived alone in that dorm and I was the only one with a key. No one else had access to my room. One afternoon, I went downstairs to hang out with my girlfriend in her dorm. I was gone for a few hours. When I came back to my room, I noticed something strange right away. The envelope of photos that I'd left inside my drawer was now sitting on my desk, and the Jesus Always book, which had before been on the shelf, was now also on my desk, open to a specific page. Placed inside was a photo I hadn't seen before, or at least hadn't remembered. A picture of my mum and dad. The moment I saw it, I got chills. Something about it just felt off. Not bad, just heavy, emotional, like the air in the room had changed. I sat down and read the devotional page the book was open to. The message was all about peace, comfort, and the idea that I'm always with you. I honestly broke down. It felt like that page, that moment was meant for me, as if somehow my mum was still trying to comfort me, letting me know that she hadn't really left. I don't know how the book ended up open like that or how the photo ended up inside it. Logically it doesn't make sense, but spiritually it felt like something beyond explanation. Whatever it was, I'll never forget it. Okay, wow, that was quite a heavy story. And you know what, I do find this one believable because I don't really consider this like ghost stuff. The way I see stuff like this, I may not like be a big believer in ghosts, but I do believe that before a soul passes on when someone's died, that they'll come back to their loved ones one last time to like send messages and stuff. So I do actually, this one is quite convincing and I'm going to put this in looks legit. Moving on to our next post, we've got another story from NASCAR worker, and this one's titled, "My mum just turned off the lights in my bathroom." My mum died from cancer last year. A few days after she passed, my TV turned on in the middle of the night. I hardly watched TV in my room. I thought maybe I left the remote in my bed. It wasn't on my bed. I thought maybe on my nightstand, and nope, both remotes were next to the TV. My mum died from cancer last year. A few days after she passed, my TV turned on in the middle of the night. I hardly watched TV in my room. I thought maybe I left the remote in my bed. It wasn't on my bed. I thought maybe on my nightstand, and nope, both remotes were next to the TV. Another time I went to turn off my PS5. I opened the glass door and it turned on without me touching anything. Today I asked my mum out loud if she was still with me to turn off the bathroom light when I returned. I walked my dog and came back 20 minutes later to find my bathroom light off. Kinda spooked me, but I know she's still with me. You see, this is another one where I find this to be actually really believable. When, people share the stories instead of, pictures, I'm more inclined to think that they're real, but also this does sound pretty legit. It's not, overly theatrical or dramatic or anything like that. It's pretty simple, normal things that you could dismiss, and you're not being like, oh my god, it's obviously a ghost. You're being like, oh, I think that this is my mum, and that makes me believe that if you feel her presence genuinely, I think this one, yeah, looks legit. Okay, next we've got a photo uploaded by Friendly Mechanic 95. Strange apparition caught on camera at Old Manor. A colleague saw this and got it on photo while on his rounds. He looked inside and saw the alarm was on. He went up to the room and nothing, so he turned the alarm back on and looked again, and it was gone. He is trustworthy and has never spoken about ghosts and stuff. Thoughts? Okay, so here we've got this building. I'm guessing from the little bit of text that this is an old building. It's probably a part of a museum or something like that. And if you look very closely in this window, I'm going to zoom in so you can see it. In the bottom right square in this window, there's a person or a shape of a person in it. Okay, so let's try think about the facts. This clearly isn't a home or something where a person should be at night, and there's clearly something in the window, and the alarm was on, and because the alarm's on, I'm guessing it's a security alarm. It doesn't specify, but I'm going to assume that's what they meant. I don't think a ghost would trip a security alarm, if I'm being honest. And okay, so your buddy goes up to the room because he sees that thing in the window and the alarm's on, and then he sees nothing in the room. I'm kind of just feeling like it was actually a person, maybe some stupid teens went in there and when they shouldn't be, or maybe it's a homeless person just trying to get some shelter for the night, and when they saw you approaching they just legged it and hid or something like that. But I don't know, because that is kind of creepy, the way it just, there's no trace of anything, but I don't think it makes logical sense that it's a ghost. It doesn't feel very ghostly to me. This one's actually kind of hard, and it would probably scare the daylights out of me if I was working here, but I don't actually think it's a ghost, so I'm going to say not buying it. Okay, now we've got another story from the user 13Abe, and this one's titled Grim Reaper. I don't even know what I saw. Let me just start by saying I'm a man that believes in God and also the devil. A few months ago I was smoking at a spot that me and my friends go to. We post up and kick it. We even took a pic for our demo there, so it's kind of a staple spot, Anyways, I'm doing my thing, setting up the stuff, and all of a sudden I see what I thought was just a homeless man going up the parking lot stairs. Mind you, it's totally normal for people to go up these stairs. Some people work out or go to the mall like teenagers on dates, etc. I do a double take because this person was no ordinary person. They had a wide frame but also super skinny, really skeleton-like honestly, but they had on rugs of clothes, like a rug made into clothes, but no face. I cannot stress this enough, no face, it was just black. He didn't even have a mask, just a hood that was pitch black. No shape of the head, nothing, just literal pitch black. He walked up to the driver's side front fender of my car and started mimicking throwing stuff over the edge of the parking lot. He looked like he was throwing breadcrumbs to pigeons over the edge of the 4th floor parking lot, but he had nothing in his hand. At first I was frozen because I was trying to figure out what the hell was happening, until I caught notice that it felt like he was trying to tell me to jump off the edge. I instantly got spooked and reversed my car and left. Every now and again I go back to that floor but the complete opposite side because they closed that half, but I can't stop thinking, Did they close that half because someone else saw him, or was this just a visit from some sort of spirit? The more I think about it or try to talk about it, scary stuff happens, or maybe I'm just paranoid. I know it's not the weed, man. I know it's real. I know what I saw. Okay, I know you said that it's not the drugs, but I think it is. I don't want to diminish this person's feelings and what they think that they've experienced, but when you smoke that stuff, it does sort of mess with your head. Paranoia is literally one of the biggest symptoms of it, and I think that this person was just so out of it that they saw a normal person but they couldn't see clearly. I think it was they didn't specify what time of day it was, I don't think, but I think they probably just saw like a creepy person, and their high brain was like, oh my god, what's happening? But I don't know, this also kind of feels like a fake story to me a bit. I don't know, I'm not buying this one. Okay, our next post is by Rockstar11118, and this is called My Conjuring House Encounter. I saw a weird lady. I went to the Conjuring house last year. My family doesn't see what I see, but please, someone has to see it. I was in the basement and I was walking when I thought I saw a lady beside me. I shook it off thinking that I was just scared, until my mum's friend took a photo of me and my mum caught this. It's very much a woman with a crooked arm. That's legit what I saw in the corner of my eyes before I shook it off. Okay, so here's the picture of the so-called ghost. I can kind of make it out already. I can kind of see what the OP's talking about, but in case you guys can't, they have then edited the picture. They've turned the brightness up from what it seems, so you can see it a bit more clearly. And they're saying it looks like a lady with a weird arm. I don't see a lady, I literally just see an arm right now. I literally think that this is just someone else who was stood there and it's their arm. Maybe you didn't notice them because it looks like they're around the corner or something from where you're stood. No, this one, I'm not really getting ghost vibes, to be honest. And a lot of people in the comments are saying as well that the Warrens, the people from the original Conjuring story, the ones who it's based off, they're all saying that these people made up the story anyway, which then makes me even more feel like this is fake, because if the whole house and the exhibit that you're at was based on a fake story, it's probably not a ghost that you're seeing. So I'm gonna say for this one, not buying it. Now we've got a video from newspaper Entire 7958. Weird stadium sounds in forest. What is this? Okay guys, I'm just gonna say, forests, hate them, bad vibes, everything evil in this world lives in the forest. I'd never live by a forest like this. But okay, let me just play the video.
Was zur Hölle? The fuck? Das kommt vom Void, Alter.
Okay, so that was really quiet. So I'm gonna try turn the audio up on that so you can actually hear it, because it was quite quiet. But that was really freaky. It sounds like someone's screaming. And OP did attach a bit of text with this video, so let me just read that for you as well for some context. Hey, a few hours ago when I was in the bathroom, I opened the window and heard these weird sounds that sound like many people shouting or something, or like a soccer match when the moderator is screaming very loud. So I live in the middle of nowhere in Austria, in a small village, and the only thing around us is forest and mountains. The next bigger town is a few kilometres away, and no, we don't have any soccer fields in the near. The next big stadium's 70 kilometres away. I always had a weird feeling about this forest. I don't know how to describe it, but when I was in the forest, I always had a feeling like I shouldn't be there. Okay guys, so this is really freaking me out, but with the context that this guy lives in Austria, I did a quick Google search, are there any animals that could potentially make screaming noises there? And it says that elk are native to Austria, so it's likely that in this video it's probably just elk, because I've heard videos of them and they are really noisy, so there's probably a few of them. Maybe it's mating season, I don't know, and they're just screaming and yapping and making all this noise. Okay guys, so I've just inserted a clip of like the noises that elks make, and it does sound pretty spot on to what we've just heard in that video. So I think I've successfully debunked this ghost story, or ghost video you could say. It was just elk, not buying it. But you know what else is really scary, guys? Posting a YouTube video and no one likes and subscribes. So please, don't scare me. Leave a like and subscribe to this channel. Thank you. Now we've got another video posted by eBoy228, Ghost on School Cameras, or what the hell is that?
И что, на одном месте?
Мы все здороваемся с ним теперь.
Да, я ему говорю, привет.
Видишь ребенок?
Видишь, как ребенок.
Когда выходит на черное, его сильно вообще видно. Снимает. Иди сюда, мы же его... Мы забыли вывести, это можно уже на большой экран.
Смотри, на большом экране.
Смотри.
Вот выходит, сейчас спустится. Вон он идет, видишь?
Видишь? Вот здесь вообще как ребенок, смотри, да?
Капец, абсолютно. Ты видишь? Ну, конечно, вот и в телефоне вот
Да.
он тоже.
И в
вот
актовом
он.
зале их там 3 штуки играют.
О, ничего
вечером.
себе.
Но они летают. Они
Здравствуйте.
летают, как бы играют. Они там не ходят, они
А
летают.
вон сейчас уже на стенке, на стенке.
Okay, so after watching that video, it definitely is a bit weird. I feel like, to me, the way that that's moving around, it doesn't seem like... Because my first thought, it would be like something swinging around in front of the camera, maybe it's dust. But the way it kind of moves back and forth seems too, like, calculated to just be dust or something flying in front of the camera. It seems like there's a thought process behind the movement. In case like you can't tell where it is, just go back. If you look at the bottom of the stairs, it's there. It's like a white smudge. But the top commenter on this post says something is hanging from a web close to the camera. 30 seconds in, you can see a strand going from the webbed object to the upper left of the image. It's close to the camera, so it's out of focus. There's a good post explaining these things usually a result of an out of focus object. Okay, so they're like giving the logical explanation behind this. I'm just gonna go back and, you know, look at the video from when they said to. Oh wait, yeah, I think I can see it. I've zoomed in on the ghost in question, but if you go to like the top of the most prominent bit of that smudge and you follow it up, I can see the web now that they're on about. Okay, yeah, this is debunked. It's not a ghost, it's a web or something like that. Not buying it. Our next post is a photo posted by Aerobatic Gap 3412, Ghost Child at Henry Clay Building in Louisville, KY. Okay, so we've got a photo here, and you know, this photo is just clearly taken on a brick. It's so incredibly blurry. What happened to modern cameras? This was posted 8 days ago. I know you ain't using a really old camera for this. But I'll zoom in on what I think is like supposed to be the ghost. They're saying it's like a ghost child, and the more I look at it, I can kind of make out a figure, but I think it's more like a trick of the mind because I know I'm supposed to be looking for like this child shape, so this, like, my brain's just sort of forming that. I think because the quality of this is so bad, like, this really could just be anything. This could be a trick of the light, it could be a smudge on the camera. I think this is just not clear enough. I think this is just like a case of, it's just a blob. It's a trick of the light or some sort of smudge, and because you're in a place that you believe to be haunted, your brain's making up things. You know, like how when you're in the dark and your clothes on a chair look like an evil person in your room. I think it's the same thing as that. So I'm gonna say not buying it. I don't think this is a ghost. We've got another photo uploaded by Original Suspect 525, and I swear we've heard that name on here before. Okay, guys, you're gonna have to tell me, have I mentioned that person already in this video? Hello all, I was recently looking through some pictures I've taken in downtown Chicago and came across this one. I took 9th of March 2024 at exactly 10 PM. My friends and I had went to hang out in the city and ended up in a Whole Foods parking lot off of Roosevelt. I took this picture trying to capture somewhat of the skyline, and now I'm just noticing something in the top left by the Sears Tower. Anyone have any ideas? Okay, here's the picture, guys. And let me tell you something, I may be an idiot, but I'm not a buffoon. I'm not that stupid. That is the most blatant Photoshop I've ever seen in my life. In case you can't see it, I don't know how you wouldn't, because it is so painfully obvious. Here it is, this geezer. It's, yeah. OP, you know what I want you to do? I want you to go onto YouTube, and I want you to type out Photoshop tutorial, because if you're gonna fake a ghost picture, at least do it well. This looks like you badly overlaid some generic ghost picture onto a normal photo you've taken. And this one, it's like almost offensive that they've posted this here, like, oh my god guys, I've only just noticed this thing. Like, nah, be so for real. No, not buying it. OP, go put yourself in timeout for this. Okay guys, I fear that's all I can take for today. Some of these have been absolutely ridiculous, and some have actually been kind of convincing, I'll give them that. But I just want a quick reminder that, you know, even if I did seem annoyed, like, at any point, it's all, like, pretend, like, I'm just messing around. It's for entertainment purposes. I'm not actually mad because someone's faked a ghost story or a ghost picture, of course. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I quite enjoyed this one. It was fun, like, looking through and debunking some of these. So I think I'm going to do another video like this in the future. But of course, let me know if you guys would like that. Leave a like and subscribe, maybe even comment on this video. Thank you so much. Until next time, bye bye.